Hi, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. And it's August, so halfway through summer. Oh man, halfway through summer if you're in Canada. I believe there are some teachers that are already back in the States. Okay, so we've had July. It's done. I just came back from 2 weeks of wonderful rest and relaxation in Nova Scotia, the land of where the name Rodenizer is not unusual. So exciting. Actually, it is such an awesome experience for me going up to the counter of a store, to a gas station or something, and somebody totally being able to say my name, one, and probably also knowing at least one of my relatives, um, which is fantastic, particularly at the South Shore of Nova Scotia. Wonderful. I have a picture of me at Rodenizer Road over this holiday. Anyway, um, I digress. So if you're listening to this podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud, thank you. Um, Also, that means you're not noticing the YouTube video. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already noticed the YouTube video. But I just want everybody to know that I'm going to try to use YouTube a little bit more and get some of these podcasts out on video, if not all of them. Just trying to figure out the logistics, how to make it work. Um, so I know it's a different way to connect, and it's good to see. So just trying to diversify things a little bit. So you can find Beyond the Staff Room on YouTube. Check it out. See the videos on there. And we're going to do one actually tonight with the folks from Virtuel as a online conference, very similar to Mad PD for English language learners. Really interesting use of the technology of using the Google Hangouts or sort of YouTube Live, and just a great way to do personalized professional development, which I'm such a strong believer in, and think that teachers and educators of all kinds need to figure out how to leverage that personal professionalized development that makes sense for them. Because the sit and get professional development just isn't the answer, and we have to go out there and make connections and figure what we need to know and move in those directions. So looking forward to that conversation. That'll be on YouTube, and we're going to try to get everything on YouTube and just get it all out there. So it's out there. I just want to take a minute. I've been gone for 2 weeks, reconnect with everybody. Sorry I've been gone. Be more podcasts coming. We'll be a little more productive now that I'm back in town, and I really enjoyed the white space. I think that while I believe in social media, I think that it's important to get out there. I also think it's important to disconnect and separate and let your brain just sort of think about whatever it needs to think about. There's a bunch of articles out there about this, and the reality is, if you can give yourself that break, you really can solve some problems, and you really can get some things sorted out that you might not even realize you need to do. So it was really nice for me, and I recommend you the same. Hard to do as an educator during the year, so let's try to do it in the summer. Things I want to talk about. I'm looking over here because I have my notes scribbled down. I don't have a lot of things, but I got a couple notes scribbled down here. I've been noticing I'm sporting my brand new exciting haircut. This morning I had a chat with my barber who was telling me about the education system as he remembered it in, oh my goodness, I'm blanking out on where he was saying. That's terrible. Lebanon. He was talking about Lebanon. So it was interesting because he was laying out these systems of exams. So he's talking about a bunch of different exams you had to take, and governmental exams, et cetera, et cetera. And he was talking about how you had to be really, really smart to pass it. And if you weren't really smart, lots of people didn't pass it. And then he went on to explain what the exams were, and they were basically a regurgitation. And it was a whole set of facts you memorize, and then you regurgitate them. And he was having a good chat this morning on a Sunday morning, and so he was continuing going through and working through this process and telling me that even those people who the people who didn't pass the exams, he's like, it's weird, didn't understand why those people who didn't pass the exams actually did quite well when they got into university, and the ones who, because they had to do a whole bunch of different things to get into university, and those who passed the exams got straight in. And he sort of came to this on his own. He said, well, maybe these folks that didn't pass these exams are just really creative thinkers and could figure out things in different ways. It made me think about that definition of smart. What is that definition of smart? What does that mean? It made me wonder about how I would define that. Not trying to necessarily even want to use it, but if I was going to use it, someone was smart, what do I mean by that? Is it simply the ability to take a fact and regurgitate it? Or is it creative thinking? It's just creative thinking? If you're a super creative thinker and you can solve problems in different ways, but you can't memorize a fact at all, is that okay? Are you still smart? I wonder how, I always think education is interesting because all of us went to school in one way or another at some point. And so everybody seems to have a feeling of what's important in education and for their kids and all that sort of thing. So I think this definition of smart is similarly shared, but not necessarily agreed upon. So if we talk about someone who's smart, what do we mean? Anyway, there's a question I was wondering about this morning while getting my haircut, talking to my barber, and thought I would share it with you. So more podcasts to come, lots of good stuff coming. Like I say, check out the YouTube channel. We'll get it more active. I'll get my camera set up and everything a little bit better, and we'll get good to go. So thanks for listening so far. And now that I'm recharged with a nice big break, lots more podcasts coming. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and appreciate you all. Oh, of course, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, thoughts, please send me an email, beyondthestaffingroom@gmail.com, and we'll get that to you. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button, and you'll get more of these. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.